Well, that answers our question. When you when you hit go live on the Streamlabs, it does play your intro right away. All right, so please note. Any Hoosers, what is today? This is June 8th, and we're so happy to be joining y'all. Welcome back to Strat Chat. We're just having a casual chat with a little bit of Strat. You know, we don't really have much to say. We're just going to catch up with y'all and see what's going on. All right, well, here's our credits. I hear absolutely nothing. I hope
that is wild.
I hope all of that was delivered in the manner in which it was intended. Any Hoosers, I'm Kyle Petty, and I'm joined as always by my pesty besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino, and this is Strat Chat, your favorite little podcast. We're not chatting about anything specific tonight, but you can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. It's not updated. Sorry. I was working on some other things. Apparently, Streamlabs also allows you to kind of make your own website.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot more to play around with this. And I had asked John to kind of give a gander with me. I don't think he did.
I may have dropped the ball a little bit.
I mean, to drop the ball insinuates that you ever picked it up in the first place.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh. Whatever. That's the fun we're having. Is there a way to see the chat? How can we see if people are talking to us? Is anybody saying things?
There's a little bubble on the top right.
Yeah, if you go to the right, is there a little bar on the right-hand side of your screen? It says chat, schedule, design.
I don't see chat. Oh, this is not good. Where are my people? Oh, I had to scroll up. There they are. Hi, people. Hi, welcome.
Oh, my God.
This is a mess.
We're learning. We're learning.
Oh, that's what it looks like, huh?
Oof. Yeah. This is an interesting night.
It's going to be an interesting night.
Oh, man.
All right. So, did Gina take the time to watch Stars on Mars?
I did not. I'm so sorry.
I knew you wouldn't. As the second the conversation fell flat, I knew you were out. It's not right.
I do want to know more about it.
I just didn't get the chance to watch it.
It's really rude. I guess so. Before we get into stuff about us, I'll tell you a little bit about Stars on Mars. Stars on Mars is a really good time. It's basically exactly what it sounds like. We've got Stars on Mars. This was filmed over in Australia in the outback. It is a Mars space simulation, and we have some second-rate, third-rate celebrities competing to see who can last the longest in these Mars-like conditions. It was made extremely unclear if there is a prize at the end of this. There'll just be...
So what you're saying is Tyson would not be about this show.
Oh no!
No!
Tyson has no time for Mars. He's not going to Mars. No, absolutely not. No, I don't really know what the point of any of this is, but it is a good time. Some of the people that we're seeing on this is Christopher Mintz-Plasse, also known as McLovin, from the hit smash Superbad. We have R&B superstar Tinashe. We have Ariel Winter from Modern Family, also known as playing so-and-so Dunphy. I forget her name.
She's an honorary Dunphy.
She is an honorary Dunphy. But we do enjoy her. She had a very fun moment. Maybe it's a spoiler. Maybe it's a reason to tune in. But, Lance Armstrong is also on the show. Lance Armstrong, former cyclist, also Live Strong champion. He walks into the house or the space station, if you will, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing a Mars simulation with a real astronaut." Basically, mistaking him for Neil. Yeah.
Oh no.
And she goes, my biggest fear was I don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't want to say anything stupid. It's like, honey, too late.
Oh, right out
It's
the
episode
gate.
1, right out of the gate.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep, you hit the
All
ground
right.
with a stumble. Too bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch this. I'm definitely gonna
No,
watch
you should. It's very fun. Who else is involved? We got Marshawn Lynch, who seems to be an early like crowd favorite. People out in the interweb seem to really enjoy him. He's not my favorite. We did see him on Murderville. Okay, he was on Murderville with the King Will Arnett. Okay, very hot, very hot. Who else do we have? Adam Rippon. How do you say his name? The Olympian. He's an Olympian.
Okay. All right. So really, this cast is really all over the place too. Which
the cast is wild and crazy. There's a housewife on there. I don't know who she is. She's the one who was like, come at me, alien. Like whatever I said to you guys like that night. Try me not, alien. Whatever she said, she's there. She's Portia. That's her name. Portia something.
I've heard about her.
Yeah, she's a good time. Tom Schwartz of Vanderpump Rules. He pops up. He's there. There's also some comedian lady. I didn't know her. Natasha Legio, something like that. I don't know. Kind of fell flat for me. She didn't. I don't know. I don't really care about her. That's it off the top of my head. There are other people. There's another NFL star. That doesn't really resonate with me.
Are they just all in the game the whole time, or do they have like evictions? Do people get evicted from Mars?
Yes, you do have evictions
from Mars.
You do have evictions. How do I get rid of this? All right. You do have evictions. So you have I think it's like a base commander, and they're like in charge of running like the mission and everything. And that person is also responsible for who will be extracted. That's what they call elimination.
Extracted.
Who's being extracted.
It has the feel of it seems like an HOH making nominations or something. Maybe.
Yes. It didn't read that way because, not to give too much away, but the very first one, it actually kind of, to your point, kind of read more kind of HOHs and I don't want to make the decision myself. What does the group think? And that's kind of how it went. I'll be curious to see how other commanders run this. Sure. And then there's a specialist that was chosen. All right. Like a mission specialist who is also safe from extraction, but kind of helps the base commander kind of communicate to the people to help them complete their challenge. Very much like the mole, we have 2 people in charge of certain things. Yeah, that's kind of what that looked like. Tallulah Willis. She is the daughter of Bruce and Demi. All right, so she's there.
Okay.
She's
nice,
there.
Nice.
Fun. That's it. That's all I got. So, Stars on Mars. Give it a look. You can find it on Hulu. Otherwise, it's also showing live on Fox on Mondays.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a streaming show that dropped all at the.
No.
No, we did not plan to match. We discovered this when we signed in.
I did offer to change, but
I would have made you change. I don't like doing matchies.
I think it's silly and goofy.
It's cute. It's fine. All right. So
plaid,
What else? What else everybody got going on? We haven't been together in 2 weeks. Last time we were together, we were discussing this.
It feels like months.
It feels like 2 months.
So much has been going on.
I know. You've had a lot going on. Big move and all that. So
I have.
I guess it's
incomplete.
Yeah. I guess it is good in a way that the shows that we were watching all ended at the same time that you had this going on.
Thank God.
Really worked out.
Thank God.
Yeah. It worked out really well for you.
Yeah, because I guess allegedly, because I really was not supposed to be moving at this time. I really was supposed to be out May 1st.
Right.
Obviously, that would have been ideal, but that would have been in the middle of BB Can. So we are grateful that didn't shake out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we're not really in the house yet. We're having the floor read down on Saturday, so that'll be nice. That'll get us back on track. John Marie, did you ask Pat if he has a nail gun?
I did,
Didn't
but
do that either. Oh,
no,
no, you did.
I did. Wow.
Well, I mean,
Wow. I did ask. He's going to let me know. He's had a lot going on himself, so he's going to check in the shed and let me know. And yeah.
Oh, so you asked, but we're not actually any closer to an answer. So,
well, I don't have it yet, but it's on the radar.
all right. So we'll just leave that there. I wasn't so far off. I knew I was going to leave this stream with no answer. That's really,
Wow.
that's all. Hey, come on. That's what you joined here for. So what else does everybody have going on? What's happening? Tell me things.
I don't know. Well, are we? Is this supposed to be like our origin story stream? We want to tell people how we met and like came together.
We can do it the hell we want to do. It's our show.
We can do whatever we want.
We can talk about whatever we want. It's so fun. So many
Well,
options.
I feel like we do tell people all the time, right? That like, the reason that this podcast started is because of Big Brother, and Gina got Kyle on the train and then got me on the train of Big Brother. And now literally we don't do anything but watch competitive reality TV. But I feel like, how did us idiots all find each other and get, and get together?
Yeah. All right. Where does one start this story? Who actually met who first? Because
I genuinely don't know.
Right, and that's really fun. I'm happy that we didn't like actually script this out ahead of time. I met John in 2007.
As did I.
Oh, so you were probably first because I was December.
I don't know.
I was December for sure.
Oh, then maybe I was
Kyle,
first.
Yeah, Kyle and I met in Parade at Cap.
Okay, then yes, I was first.
But I had done High School Musical as Troy Bolton, getting his head in the game.
And where was that performed?
At the Cultural
Also
Arts Playhouse.
At the Cultural Arts Playhouse. It's also important for people to know that, like, Gina's not the only one who sings. Okay. Gina has certainly better than us, and she's had a lot more success than us. But like, if you follow John, you've had a lot more success than us. All right, like we didn't book a tour, so
yeah,
there's that. Yeah, we didn't do that. So John, if you follow John on Instagram, you've probably seen some of his singing clips and things like that of him sitting at the piano. But that's really how we all got together here. So it's a really fun story. I want to hear more about how y'all met, because I don't know anything about that. Tell me more about this High School Musical. So if John was Troy, who the hell was Gina? Were you Gabby Gabs?
No, I was not.
I was so clueless actually coming into that whole experience, because I had only done theater in my school with friends from my town. So when I first went to Cap, I had no idea what was going on. It was this huge clique of theater people, because that was the worst part, honestly. The most embarrassing part of me being in High School Musical as Troy Bolton was that I would show up to rehearsals in my baseball uniform. The way that Troy Bolton would, the way that Troy Bolton would show up to rehearsals in the movie in his basketball uniform. I did not fit in there.
I forgot about that. That's so funny.
This is the High School Musical I did not get to see, unfortunately.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't know anyone then.
Had you never done a Cap show at that time?
No, in 2007. No, my first show at Cap was 2007, and it was the Christmas show. That was actually my Long Island theater debut.
Wow.
Was in the critically and locally panned, much ballyhooed Annie Warbucks. That was my debut. That was my big debut. I was supposed to be just regular ensemble, and then I was promoted to Fletcher. Fletcher is the driver. And Mr. Warbucks would throw his suitcase at me. And I had to go fetch the Duesenberg. That was my big debut.
But I don't know why. I think just because like you said, everybody was already friends with each other. I assumed that that was my first show at Cap, and I assumed everybody had all been doing shows for like 15 years by that point. I was like, everybody knows each other. I'm the weird girl in the corner reading a book. No one wants to talk to me because I'm new.
You're definitely weird.
Whoop.
But so are all of us.
Yeah,
So
but
are
I
all
was
of us.
also like, I was so like, at least now I've grown to like embrace my weird, but then I did not. I was like uncomfortably weird. Like would not talk to anybody.
Owl watch with the Kenny Ortega choreography, because High School Musical, actually the funny thing about the High School Musical choreography is I'm like an awful dancer, and like that show is like so much dancing. So people used to make fun of me because in that "we're all in this together" that scene, you know, where everybody's doing their arm things, people would make fun of me that it just looked like I was like pulling my pants up.
Oh my god.
Well, so High School Musical is actually really special to me. Like I love High School Musical, and after I had first met John, you know, he redid High School Musical at the Long Island Children's Museum.
Right.
Yes, and they did about 14 performances, and I sat in the second row for 12.
Wow.
Listen, but I'll tell you, yeah, Kyle and I were already like friends at this point, like very close friends, but like we grew into being like brothers over time. It might have even been like at this point that had already begun, you know what I mean? But like Kyle, he said that he sat in the audience for 12 of the 14 performances, but like Kyle was like honestly is just as much a member of the cast as like anybody else. Sure, Kyle was there for everything. It was honestly, that was one of the best shows I've ever done in my life. And like Kyle was around so much, and like the group of friends that we formed from that, between like me, Kyle, and then people like Steve and Brett and Christina, like so Jackie, you know, so many people that like that show was so special for so many reasons. It always will be.
Yeah, that show is like really, really special. Do you still have, oh my gosh, it's like rushing back now. Do you still have that photo book that I made for you years ago?
I do. It's somewhere on my bookshelf over here. What? Why? Why you like? I just said yes.
Right, because there was a little pause there, right? Like he didn't know what I was talking about. You felt it too, Gina. You felt it.
Wow, I didn't think there was any hesitation at all.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
I was like, oh.
Maybe
like,
there was a lag. You don't know.
I can't wait to watch back. I'm gonna go back to 18 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, oh, do you still have that photo book? You're like, yeah.
Well, I was trying to think of where it was.
No, I know. I'm just teasing.
That show was like 13 years ago.
Why isn't this fresh in your mind? This should be right at the forefront. You just said it was very special. You should be remembering.
Obviously, it was.
I have vivid
all these years later,
memories.
we're doing a podcast.
I have so many like weird, vivid memories of like our High School Musical that like when we started talking about how like this might be what the stream was going to be about, I was like, this is like, why do I have so many, like, as if it just happened, you know?
Oh my gosh, I want to know more about this High School Music that y'all did, because I wasn't around for it. So tell me things.
That honestly was a wild show. That was a wild show.
Wait, so who was Gabby Gabs?
Well, it was triple cast, that production, actually, because there was a main stage cast and 2 YPT casts that all happened at the same time, and almost everybody was in both.
Gosh.
Yeah. It was Rebecca Kuznick was one Gabby.
Rebecca Kuznick. But
yeah.
Do good things.
Sari Wienerman.
Right.
What was she?
I can't remember the third one, though.
It was Kayla. Kayla Saletti.
Oh, Kayla, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of course, yeah.
Unknown.
Her time at Cap was pretty short, I think. She only did like 2 or 3 shows.
Sounds like it, because that happened in 2007, and I showed up for Christmas 2007, and I already missed her. Sorry,
yeah, I had only done 2 shows with her because she was in that Godspell we did too.
Oh yeah, Godspell.
I don't like Godspell.
Well, that Godspell was, you want to talk about crazy shows. That was a fever dream, that Godspell. Because like I think
I
because
almost dropped out of that Godspell.
well, most people did. So the thing about
Wait,
that
is it the
Godspell,
Godspell that was going to be at the new cap in
yes.
Plainview?
So that Godspell, the whole thing was like Parade was closing out Bethpage Cap, and Godspell was going to open up Plainview Cap. But they closed down Bethpage before Plainview was like inspected by the fire marshal, so nothing was built up to. So nothing was built up to code, and they had to like completely start from scratch and rebuild everything.
No.
So what was supposed to be, I believe, like a 1 to 2 month rehearsal process became a 7-month rehearsal process. And like half the cast quit because they were either like, screw this, I'm not doing it, or people were going to college and weren't going to be around anymore. And like, I say this with love and respect. I have never been in a show that rehearsed for so long and was so bad in my life. Like, it was not a good show when it went up.
So it actually did go up.
It did. It did.
It did, yeah.
So I still remember. I remember the first show in that space being Jesus Christ Superstar.
That was after.
Yeah.
See, oh my gosh, really? See, that's when
that was the show after.
See, I was King Herod in that one, but I wasn't supposed to be. Do you remember this, John?
It does sound familiar. I don't remember the exact story, but I remember there being a lot of hullabaloo.
Oh my god, so much hullabaloo. Because I wasn't supposed to be in it, but Brett, who I had moved in with by this time, right? Brett, Christina, and Steve and Jackie, now known as Jay, but Jackie then, they were all in it. And I was like, no, I don't have any interest in the show. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And then there was some big blowout between Rich Martino. Remember Rich Martino?
Mm-hmm.
And because he played Judas, and there was a big blowout between him and Zach Blaine, who was King Herod. And he was playing King Herod in drag. Do you remember that? So they wanted me to fill in as Herod. So I had Christina King meet me at my old parents' house. Remember that? We had these fire drill rehearsals in an empty living room. And then I had to go down to Dots. Do you remember Dots?
Dots.
And I went to Dots to find a dress, and then I went and I had to buy a wig and had to do all this stuff, and I bought a cheap little tiara with clip-on plastic earrings, and that's how I was King Herod. Yeah. Yikes.
No, yikes.
No, yikes. It was an absolute disaster.
That era of shows there was just not Cap was good, and then there was a period where it was rough, and then it got good again. But there was that period in between where it was what is going on?
Yeah,
here?
it was that year and a half that we didn't really know what to do with ourselves, right?
That transition period, yeah.
Yes, because you were used to working on such a big stage, it was a huge dressing room, and now you're in such a very different space, and it's these things don't translate the way that we thought they would.
Uh-huh.
It's the new place, all of a sudden the dressing room was okay, here's one room where everybody just goes in and drops their stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
Let's go, just drop trowel.
But even because I remember that Godspell too, John rehearsed a role for 6 months that then he didn't perform because he performed a completely different role. I was what's happening?
Here's the thing. Part of the reason I tried to quit was because the owner of the theater at one point was trying to get me to play both Jesus and Judas. I was going to do different performances doing each role, and the ones where I wasn't Jesus, the owner of the theater was going to be Jesus alongside my Judas. And I was like, there's no way that I am going to learn both of these roles just so that you can do 3 shows that you want to do.
Because it's you had been not the applause, but it was just so funny because you had been rehearsing Jesus for months, and then all of a sudden you came in one day and you were singing Judas, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
I probably looked pissed too.
I was so confused. I was like, have I been in the wrong show this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wild time.
But yeah, John and I were fast friends though. We were. I just met him. I just knew he was special. We got along wonderfully.
Well, see, I remember did I ever tell you the audition, my first impression of John? Have I told this story before?
No, and I can't wait to hear
before
it.
you do that. Before you do that, I just want to piggyback on something that you just said, and I don't know if it will make sense after what Gina says. So, because you said that we became because you said, Kyle, specifically, that you and I became very fast friends, and like what's funny about it to me is that like I came in there not knowing anybody doing High School Musical, right? And so I was still like a new person. Like Parade was like only the second show I'd ever done there. So the people that I got to know from High School Musical, you would have thought, because that was my first show there, the first friendships that I formed there, you would have thought that those were the people that I would have gravitated towards once Parade happened. But what's funny about that whole thing is that you and I met in Parade, and I hung out with you more than anyone else that I had done High School Musical with. So like that just, I feel like, really illustrates too, like the way that we were drawn to each other right from the start, like the minute we met each other. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I literally feel like I just walked up to you and said, "Hello, I've selected you for the rest of my life. So sorry about it. Off we go." Yeah. And you said, "Okay."
I love that.
Yeah. And it's just been like that ever since, except for that brief period where you ditched me.
I did ditch like everybody. I ditched Kyle for a little bit. I was going through a rough patch in my life. Okay. I'm sorry.
There is no way we can discuss origin stories and not discuss how you basically broke up with me and stopped speaking to me for years.
No,
we'll get to there after Gina tells her story. But
it's part of it all. It is part of this. It is part of all of how we got here.
Yeah, it's part of the journey. It's part of why
doing a lot of
things that we were not friends for as long as we are friends. If you look at our friendship story, it looks like it ended. It didn't.
I was doing a lot of dumb stuff. I was drinking a lot. I was partying a lot. I disappeared off the face of the earth, but luckily I did find my way home. So
you did.
Yeah. But anyway, Gina,
you came back.
Please, Gina.
We'll certainly get
I'm
there.
gonna change the vibe a lot because this is a very silly story. So I had like done a couple of shows at like another theater, but it wasn't like a theater. It was like, do you remember Take One? How it used to just be like the basement of a church, like way back in the day.
Yes.
That was the only place that I had ever done shows before doing High School Musical. So I literally just like, oh, he's gone.
Oh no, I'm here. No, I'm here. I'm just getting.
Okay. But I don't even remember how I found the audition. I just saw it somewhere and I was like, all right, I guess I should go to this. But like, we were in high school. Like my mom drove me there. I didn't know anybody. So I'm sitting like in the lobby and I don't know anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just kind of like keeping to myself. And John happens to be sitting next to me in the lobby.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky and blessed.
Somebody else. I don't remember who you were there with, but they were talking about like the format of the auditions or whatever. And they were saying, yeah, we're going to bring in like how many people, and then we're going to do the dance call, and then we're going to release you guys. And I heard whoever you were sitting with, you were like, I don't want to do a dance call. This is going to be crazy. Like, I can't, like, what's going to happen? And they're talking and he's like, and I hear John say, like, I'm like eavesdropping because I don't know anybody in this building. And I hear John say, yo, I know like sometimes when they do dance calls, they make you like freestyle. But if they make me freestyle, I'm just going to walk around in circles and fist bump because I don't know what else to do. And I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Like, what is he talking about? So I'm like laughing, thinking it's this silly, this silly thing that I'm hearing. And then we go into the audition and we're in the same group. So we're like doing the dance call or whatever. And I hear the choreographer say, yeah, and then we're going to have like however many counts of freestyle. And I see you two look at each other like, shit, like it's happening. So we go to do the dances and like, it was like a group of 10 people and they split it in like 5 and 5. So I was in like a different 5 than you were in. So I watched your group dance and wouldn't you know, the counts of freestyle, John surely does just walk around the perimeter of the stage.
No, stop.
And I was like, who is this idiot man? And why is he doing, what's going on? So I'm like,
and then you know what happened? I got cast as the lead.
I walked into the first rehearsal and I was like, no way, they cast that guy? That's crazy. And then we're going in a circle of like, okay, everybody say your name and say what role you're playing. It's like, hey, I'm John, I'm playing Troy. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me. I was like, there's no way.
Oh my gosh, they cast that guy. That's
I just knew it was the guy who walked around like this for the whole audition.
As Troy Bolton, no less. Oh
That's right.
my goodness
Craziest
gracious!
right.
thing. So yeah, that is my first impression of John.
Wow, wow.
Gina
You know,
hated me. Hated me.
I didn't hate you. I was just confused.
I will say there were definitely people that hated me because Cap, they had their own school of actors, people that did shows there for years and years, built relationships, did a ton of shows, and built their resume in that theater. And then here's this dumbass in a baseball uniform walking in and getting the lead. And I knew there were multiple guys there who became friends of mine, who I'm still friends with, that I know for a fact were pissed that I got that role. But hey, I killed it. Sorry. I don't know.
You certainly did.
because you got a fucking sick ass voice. That's why. That's why.
Well, that's what. Then, like, our first rehearsal was a music rehearsal, and as soon as we started, I went, "Okay, I'm on board. I understand."
I don't need to bust a move if I can bark. Get the hell out of here. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I remember my first impression of Gina being I was very intimidated. I was very nervous, like, to meet Gina. My first real interaction with you that I actually remember was actually at In the Heights callbacks. Or that could have been regular auditions. I don't know when that was. It was in what became the Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, we were supposed to be paired up with people to dance.
Oh no, that was the first rehearsal.
Yeah. Oh, was that the first? That was the first rehearsal.
That was the read through.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Okay. That was okay. And I remember standing there. I was like, oh my gosh, no one selected me. And of course they didn't. Like, who wants to dance with me? Like, I totally got it. But I was like, fuck. Like, now what? And Gina was just like, nobody picked me either. You want to dance with me? And it's like, I don't know. I don't want to dance with you. I can't dance with you. I'm like, Gina wants to dance with me. I was like, all right, little girl. So let's go. And I wanted to act like, I was like super confident about it, but I was not. I was really sweating. I was really nervous.
Why?
Because, like, when you open your mouth, it's like a chorus of 8 angels singing. It's just, it's crazy. Beautiful. It's smooth as butter. It's beautiful. It's so clear. It's so crisp. It is. When you sing, Gina, I swear the room lights up. It is just something else. And I remember sitting there in that lobby. I don't remember if it was auditions or callbacks or whatever, but you were in there for, it was Addams Family, right? You were rehearsing for Addams Family.
We were in tech, yeah.
Yeah, and you popped in to whether this audition was, whether it was regular auditions or
that was callbacks. Yeah, we were doing callbacks and a tech rehearsal at the same time.
See, those things blur because it was a while ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Remember, you walked in and you just started singing. I said, oh my God, who the hell is that little girl? Who is that little girl? I said, my God, nice. Like, I'm telling you, I feel like my wig flew off. And I said, my goodness gracious. And I said, who is she? Because I had seen you before because I knew you were at CAP and you had kind of like piddled around there. But like I was kind of at a CAP by that time. So like
sure.
I was like very intimidated. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to dance with this girl. And I was like, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what's going on. But you didn't know what was going on either. So I was immediately. I
certainly did not.
No, I was immediately comforted.
For anybody listening, like CM would do this thing where like the first rehearsal would be a read through and they would do something themed to the show. So the fun little activity that they planned for In the Heights was they had like a Latin dance instructor come in and just teach us different dances.
Gosh, yes,
so it's me and Kyle trying to do like bachata, but like I don't dance. So like,
I can't even say that. I can't even say it.
I'm like, I don't move like that. I don't know who you're kidding.
Look, I don't know what you thought this was going to be, but I can't give it to you. I don't know what you wanted to know.
It's so funny though, because In the Heights obviously is where like we became friends, but I had like seen you in shows a million times before. And I remember actually the first time that I'd ever met you was like way back. And I think it might have been during Parade because I was really close friends with Jimmy Donahue at the time.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I just saw him like 2 days ago. But
oh wow.
Oh, how is he?
Oh, he's good. He had just seen the Britney musical. on
Oh,
Monday.
what did he think? What did he think?
He lost.
He loved it.
He texted me at intermission and he was
Yeah.
like, "I have to come every day.
Yes.
I will be here."
Just
I'm
keep
such
coming
a
back,
loser.
Keep coming back. Like maybe I don't need Wi-Fi in the new house. Maybe I don't. Maybe it doesn't matter.
It's
I
so
need to. I
much
need to make
fun.
sure
It's
I
so
go to
much
see this.
fun.
Yes, so good.
I'm
I
the
have never
only
had that
one.
much fun at a show in my life.
Oh, it's so
I'm the only
good.
one of the three of us that has not seen it. I think I just saw on social media the other day that Mikey has now seen it.
Mikey and Jimmy were there on the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Mikey
don't
and
mind
okay.
sitting, if you don't mind sitting in the mezzanine, I would absolutely go again.
I'd go again.
Okay.
Listen.
Field trip.
We just bought a house. I can't sit in the orchestra for 100, but I can sit in the back for 49.
Sure.
So, oh my gosh! Wait a minute. As a quick aside, Gina, do not forget where you were in this. Remember.
I know. I remember. First impressions. I got you.
So John and I are talking about getting a hotel room for Wednesday night for House Chops.
House Chops,
Oh.
BB25 premiere.
Yeah, because like you live close enough, like you probably don't give two shits, but like we are. I'm gonna be really, really far. I'm gonna be so far.
Yeah, you're
And
gonna.
I was like, I don't want to be sitting here thinking about like, oh my gosh, when should I leave? If I'm having a good time and I'm vibing with some people, like I don't want to be looking at the clock. I just want to have a good night.
Right.
So we're talking about like kind of like splitting a hotel room or something. But like what, because it's a Wednesday, we could totally see a matinee. That's where I was going with all of that. Because like
that's
like,
fun.
I know you took off Thursday, but just take off Wednesday. I took off Wednesday to Friday. I took off the whole almost a whole week for Big Brother premiere. Like, so I'm ready. But like, no, we could totally like just like see a matinee and then like just chill in the room and then go to House Chops.
So fun.
Come on, let's go August.
I love that.
Sounds like a damn good day.
Doesn't it
Sounds
sound
like a
good
damn
day?
good day.
I'm so on board.
Yeah, we should see if we can get some $49 tickets for Once Upon a One More Time for that day. What a perfect day.
I know Kyle was saying it last time we talked about it before I had seen it, but when I tell you I've never had that much fun at a show in my life. It is
I'm telling you,
so much fun.
It's just fun. It is so stupid from beginning to end. It knows exactly what it is. It's
very self-aware.
Yes. It's not trying to present itself as anything real. Like it's not. But even in that, you still left with a message. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You still left. My spirit was fed. Okay. And meeting Justin Guarini afterwards.
He was perfect in that show. My goodness.
I know I said this is going to be a quick aside, but let me tell you, I stood there at that stage door. I went up to him. I was shaking with my playbill. And I said, oh my gosh. And I just said, hello. I was like, oh my gosh, this is him.
Yes.
And I was like, all my wallpaper.
Perfect.
Yes. And I was just like, I love you so much. And he was like, I love you too. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't know me. I'm like, but that's okay. And I was like, can you just sign this? I'm like shaking. And so he signs it. I was like, can you just take one picture with me? He's like, I'll take as many pictures as you want. And I was like, oh, and I'm like holding him, like literally shaking. I'm like, this man, Justin Guarini is just everything to me. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I love this man down. I love this man down. Right down to his jazz album that came out in 2015. Like, I am a Justin Guarini fan. Okay. Well,
because you're also a From Justin to Kelly girly.
I absolutely am. I purchased it on Amazon Prime, so no matter where I go, I always have it. I love From Justin to Kelly. I know it was nominated for worst movie of the year. It may have actually won that. It's not about the plot. The numbers are so good. Anika Noni Rose, who is also the voice of Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Is she in that movie?
Yes, she is. She plays Kelly's best friend. Like, get it together.
My God. I've never seen it. I'm sorry.
You've never seen it?
I've never
How have
seen
you never
it.
seen that? How have you never?
seen
It's such a good movie. That is such a good movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
You're wild, Gina. You're wild.
Oh my
You know
God.
what, Gina? Gina, it is so good that you let me know the next time that you're off and you're ready to watch a movie. I will Venmo you the money that it costs so that you can rent it and watch this movie. Okay, there are so many good moments. Even Kelly's best friend, who does that shady shit to her, what's her name? Alexa. I wanna wish upon a star. It's so good. Like I'm telling you, this movie is everything from Justin to Kelly. Okay, from Justin to Kelly.
Oh my god.
Matt
Oh,
Blevins
Listen.
says, cut Gina some slack. She just found out Arissa Cox was in Camp Rock.
That
Well,
blew
honestly-
my freaking mind.
It blew my mind too. All right, I'm sorry.
I've seen that movie. All right, I've seen Camp Rock. I did not know that was Arissa.
I also I never saw Camp Rock, so I didn't know anything about it. But like, I'm gonna stand on your side. I didn't know anything about it.
I was in the
didn't know
Long
anything
Island
about
Theater
it.
regional premiere of Camp Rock, so of course I've seen it.
Oh, excuse me. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Gina has had a lot more success than John and I. Like, we're just social media famous. Like, Gina's out there.
I'm not,
People
so, I'm not anything famous. Not social media, not nothing.
You're certainly more famous than I. Nobody even knew I sang until tonight.
You see, well, hold on. Okay, Gina has to finish her story, but I do have something else that I would like to say. But Gina has been derailed for quite some time now.
Yeah, I still got it. I remember.
Do you remember, Kyle, the timestamp that you said of Gina? Remember this time. Like, I forget what the timestamp
I
was.
don't remember the timestamp. That was not my responsibility. I had already passed
No,
that off.
I'm not even like actually seriously asking you to remember right now. I'm just like, I specifically remember you at some point being like, Gina, remember this time? This is when we stopped.
Right.
And I can't remember what that time was.
No, I just
Gina.
It's good. No, I don't remember. Of course I don't remember.
All right, Gina, pick up exactly where you were.
Okay, well,
In your
I
story,
remember, okay? So I was talking
Wow,
about my first
okay,
impression
impressive.
of Kyle. Yeah, because we talked about Jimmy Donahue, and that's how we got here. So,
Right, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy Donahue, for that tangent.
Thank you, Jimmy Dons.
so
JJ Dons.
Not JJ Dons. I don't like that. But he and I were like very, very close friends at the time because he was also in that same High School Musical. And he would always I didn't know anything about Parade. The only reason I went to see it is because Jimmy was like, this is a show that I think you should see. And I went, yeah, all right. But he was always talking about the show and about the cast, about rehearsals or whatever. And he would always talk about Kyle Petty, who's in this show. And oh my God, I love Kyle so much. He's so fun. He's so funny. And would just say all of these lovely things about this Kyle person. And I was like, well, I don't know who Kyle is, but I would love to meet him. So then I don't remember if we were rehearsing for something at the same time. Our paths crossed for some reason at some point. Either you guys had a matinee and then we had Godspell rehearsal or something. I don't know what it was, but we were in the building at the same time. And Jimmy was like, I have to introduce you to Kyle. And I was like, right now? I can't meet Kyle right now. I'm not ready. So he was no, it'll be fine. It'll be fun. So he introduced me to you, but because I didn't know you yet at the time, you started being your Kyle, funny, silly, jokey, standoffish Kyle self, you know what I mean? So
no, I don't know.
No,
that's
I mean,
concerning.
No, I mean your little sassy Kyle shade that you throw to be funny. You know what I'm talking about? When you're being silly, it's never serious. But
I've been known to throw some shade from time to time.
He goes to introduce me to you, and he's like, Gina, this is Kyle. I was like, oh my God, Kyle! I've heard so much about you, and you went, uh-oh. And I was like, no, I'm so excited. Jimmy says so many nice things about you. And he was like, well, I've never heard of you. And I was like, oh no. And he starts giving it back at me. But again, at the time, I was so anxious and shy and nervous around everybody all the time that I was like, Kyle hates me. He hates me so much. So I was always but then from then on, I saw Parade shortly after. And then I would see you in shows all the time. And I was like, Kyle just looks like the most lovely human, but he doesn't like me. This is terrible. I just want to be his friend and he won't be my friend. And every time that I would see you, I was afraid to talk to you because I was like, what if he doesn't like me? And I was so nervous. So then that's why it's so funny that you say during In the Heights that I came up to you and you were like, oh my God, I have to dance with Gina. Because I was looking and I was like, am I going to try to be friends with Kyle right now? What if he says no? I have to ask him to dance with me at this rehearsal. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was sweating. And then I went up to you and went, do you want to dance with me? And I was so scared. So it's so funny that that's your perspective.
I'm actually so grateful that this is how the stories came out because I don't remember that interaction at all. Like, I don't remember meeting
It was
you
very
prior
quick,
to
and you
that
had never
at
heard
all.
of me before. Like,
I don't remember any of that. You also should know that, like, during that time when I was in theater, like, I was going through possibly like the worst time in my entire life. Like, I was like, yes, I drink now, and like, yes, like we can be cracked and like whatever, but like that was actually the foundation of my relationship with John. Like, my relationship with John was really founded on him trying to reel in my drinking. My drinking was so bad back then that like people at work spoke to each other about how can we help Kyle. Like, I was going through a really rough time. So I may have actually probably been like completely blacked out with like when any of this happened. Like, I don't know. Like, that was
but,
like,
I
that's
mean, like,
so
it's
crazy to me. And I'm like, thank
but
God I told my story first, because I sound like such a dick in your
no,
version.
but it's like thinking back on
Oh
it,
my
knowing
God.
you how I know you now, like it was so clearly joking, but I didn't know your personality at the time. So I was like, oh my God, he hates me. Like, we're not going to be friends at all. He doesn't like me even a little bit.
That is so crazy. I have absolutely no recollection of any of that. Parade was also a really, really crazy time for me too, because like I always wanted to sing, and like nobody gave me any shine, and like I was in Annie Warbucks and nobody gave two craps. Although, granted, the way that I ended up in Annie Warbucks, like no one should have given two craps. I didn't even really audition for that. That's a whole story on its own. But like Parade, oh my God, I remember like it's a very scary thing the very first time you're ever on stage by yourself. Do you remember that moment? Like, it doesn't matter
Oh
what
yeah.
role you play. Oftentimes, you're like, there's always someone else there. Like, it's so scary being on stage, like alone, right? And Parade was my second show in like community theater, and it was the first time I was by myself on stage. And I had this, oh my God, I swear that customer hated my guts. She hated costuming me. She said I was too fat. She did not like putting me in clothes. Like, she was so mean to me. But she gave me this pair of suspenders that just was like far too small. And I said, these suspenders are no good. They're no good. And she's like, they're fine. They're fine. Right. So I remember part of the blocking was like just be singing this song and then put my foot on the little toolbox and be shining my shoe. And there was one performance that, like, I'm telling you, these suspenders felt too tight. Like, this particular show, it felt like tighter than normal. And I went to go shine the shoe, and all I hear is, and the fucking suspenders fly over my head. And like, I was like, oh my God. And now the pants are falling, because the pants are off. The pants were too big. The suspenders were too small. It was like an absolute nightmare. Like, Parade was not at all the good fun time that it should have been. Not that Parade is a fun show.
Yeah, it do be depressing.
I know, right. But like, we did have fun people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember Chelsea, John?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, I actually spoke to her recently. Chelsea was really, really fun, but Chelsea made me nervous back then because Chelsea didn't always come out on time. And I remember being really, really nervous because our song started Act 2. So I would come out and I would start singing, and then Chelsea was supposed to come out, and like she would not be waiting in the wings like she was supposed to be. I'd be really nervous that she wasn't actually coming. Like, she was like scary as hell.
She was. I do remember her being pretty lax on like. It's like most people that do theater, right? It's like, okay, I have to go on in 2 minutes. I'm gonna go in the next 5 seconds, so I can just see
just
things,
be there and be
things.
ready.
Yeah. No, like this would be like 5 seconds until she's supposed to be on. You're still wondering if is she on her way? Like,
as my suspenders are popping all over the place, I'm like, yo, is this girl coming? Is this girl coming? I need somebody to look at something else. That's crazy. She's so
I did
crazy.
really like Chelsea though. She was fun.
No, I like Chelsea too. I did speak to her recently because it was like her birthday or something like that. No, actually, I don't even think it was her birthday. I think she just said like something nice like on Facebook. And I said, you just look really happy. And your smile makes me smile. So I just hope you're well. Like, it was like one of those like messages. It's just like, oh my gosh, thank you for thinking of me. I said, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's actually funny that you say that because like there are people that I've lost touch with right?
Mhm.
Over the years, things happen. People move away. They start families, this and that.
Right.
But it's like there are certain people that you see that you're like, oh, I lost touch with this person and I miss them. Like I kind of wish they were still around, but like I can tell they're happy. So like I'm just
I
happy
smile.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
just smile.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she's definitely one of those people. I also remember that all the black people were roped into doing YPT parade. Do you remember that?
Well, that was the one I saw. I didn't get to see main stage.
Oh, so yeah, YPT parade. We had Kirby. Do you remember Kirby?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Kirby one show set the dress on fire. Do you remember that? It was smoking.
What?
Because,
I do remember that.
Yes, because because like the dress was made out of some kind of straw or something, right? Because like we were slaves, or like, or at least downtrodden, and she had thrown this dress on top of, because you know you had those light bulbs in the dressing room around the mirror,
Yes.
and it was on the mirror, and it, like it singed it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
And she came out this big like burnt spot, smelling like smoke.
No.
And I was like, and there's a rumbling and a rolling. What the hell is that smell? This girl coming down. I was like, what is happening over here? Yeah, Miss Kirby. Kirby
That is
Forte.
Kirby.
wild.
I think that was her legal name back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you know what still blows my mind about Parade that I literally just remembered now too? Like that I just once in a while get reminded about it on social media. But what blows my mind about Parade is that we did that show with Jordan Firstman, who has now like blown up and become this like huge social media person, is making movies, was in Miss Marvel, the Marvel show. Like I'm like, and then like I'll see Tully Smythe from Big Brother Australia liking Jordan Firstman's posts, and I'm like, what is happening?
We were on stage with this man. Oh my gosh, can I tell you this story? Oh my gosh. John might remember this because John was a part. I love telling this story. This is a parade story featuring Tropical Joe.
Oh,
There's a name. Ooh.
Tropical Joe.
Tropical Joe was a dumpy fellow, smaller than me, but had glasses, just like, you know, just actually rather shaped like Dr. Robotnik, if you can picture it, and always wore like a lot of like Hawaiian shirts and things. That was like Tropical Joe.
Yes,
right?
yes. Hawaiian shirts. Tropical Joe, exactly. Hawaiian shirts.
Exactly, Hawaiian shirts, and that's why he was tropical. What else can we? Who else are the players in this story? Right, the next player is Tony Grover, the late Tony Grover. You know, R.I.P.
Oh yeah, Tony.
A beautiful man, if you actually knew him, but if you didn't, and he did not allow you to know him. Okay, very intimidating, very scary. You know, always wore a hoodie and jeans. Right, look. Very rough looking man, but actually a very tender heart.
So soft spoken.
Yes, yeah. I loved Tony Grover, but
yeah.
He was an intimidating man at the same time. And the other player in this is the amazing Craig Cosgrove. Okay.
Oh my God, Craig Cosgrove.
Craig Cosgrove. Yes. So the way this was supposed to go, there's supposed to be a
heard
parade,
that name.
right? Oh my God.
Sorry.
No, totally fine. We are reminiscing. So the parade was supposed to go, obviously, from, you know, stage right, stage left, like as a parade does. So in order for this, to happen, you had to have Tropical Joe. Right, Tropical Joe had to get on this horse that then Craig was supposed to be pushing. Was a wooden horse that Craig was supposed to be pushing whilst holding this balloon on a stick. Okay, and that was the beginning of this parade. And then whatever the next float was, I don't even remember what it was that I had, but it was Tony Grover on whatever float I was pushing. Okay, and again, this is my second show. I was very intimidated by the entire process. Okay, and the parade is going. And this is why Jordan Firstman reminds me of this, because Jordan Firstman in that show, didn't he trade back and forth from singing Young Soldier and Old Soldier?
Yeah, it was him and Lyle.
Yes, and that's why this reminds me of this, because this parade happened in the very beginning of the show when Young Soldier was singing.
That's such a
Okay.
beautiful piece to sing, by the
Oh,
way.
it's a beautiful, the old, but beautiful red hills of home.
Old Red Hills of Home, yeah.
Yeah.
Old red hills. Yeah. So yeah, Parade is one of the most just amazing musicals. I mean, from the storyline to the way the story is written, right down to the score and the storytelling in the music. It's not just the music that's good, it's the way that the songs tell the story. Everything about Parade is
I mean, not to be dramatic, but seeing that production was a life-changing moment for me. Like it truly like
no.
shook me to my core.
No, I believe it because even just being in it, it was only my second show, but Parade, I remember these stories so vividly because it was such a landmark moment like in my
Yeah.
life. Like it really, yeah. Parade, if you ever have the good fortune of coming to New York and you get to see this show, I haven't even gotten to
So
see
happy.
this
The
on the
revival
it
is
Yeah.
stunning.
yeah.
Stunning.
Parade is
I'm
so
expecting
special.
awards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Parade is so special. Parade is incredible. And I am so grateful to Cap for the experience to be a part of it and twice. Three
Well,
times actually.
I never would have
Um,
heard about it in the first place if I didn't see you guys in it. Like
Right.
it truly
Because no one else did it.
Yeah.
Parade is an absolute masterpiece. Yeah.
That was also like the show itself was great. Honestly, even the main stage and the YPT both were honestly very good. The main stage was phenomenal, I thought. But like it was that was one of my favorite shows because not only was the show great and the cast awesome, but I got to play so many different roles. Like I was the lawyer Hugh Dorsey in the YPT one, but in the main stage one, I was like all these different roles, and it was like getting to play all those different parts and like tell the story was like one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. And like it just, and that, because you go there to do the show, but then aside from that, like the fact that I'm performing with you, Kyle, and like meeting you for the first time, like just how much more special can an experience be,
Yeah. It was
great. Yeah. I do have something to say. Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Yeah, Kyle was telling a story.
So the actual parade, right? So
oh yes, of course, Tropical Joe.
Yeah, yes. So Young Soldier is singing. The parade is supposed to start, right? And Tropical Joe, in typical Tropics, as we call them for short, Tropics fashion, was like trying to mount the horse. He was already late. He's trying to mount the horse, and he cannot get his right leg over. Just cannot do it. Like he's trying so hard because he's in his costume. Yes, he's in his costume for the first time. It's very tight. He can't get it over. He's trying so hard. He cannot do it. Can't do it. So he just gives up and he walks away. So Craig takes his balloon on a stick and just walks across the stage. Just goes.
I remember this. All of this. I remember everything.
Right? He just starts walking across. So I'm like, oh my God, right? And like, but everything is set up on the side of the stage, as we call the wings, right? Everything is set up in parade order. So you don't have any room to get any other float around. So if this wooden horse doesn't go, the parade does not go because there's nothing else. So Tony, because this was still the beginning of me getting to know him. I didn't know his heart yet, right? He just goes, well, if he ain't going, I ain't going, right? So he walks away. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? And I'm brand new to theater, right? I'm brand new. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do? Because if you don't know Bruce Grossman, he's very scary. Like once you know him, you know what I mean? Once you know him, you're just like, oh, okay. No.
Right. No, but first impression is
exactly.
Scary.
Exactly. But if you don't know, but when you know him, you're like, oh yeah, you're just a silly man. You're really sweet. You're totally fine. Right. But being new, you're very, very intimidated. So I was like, oh my God. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to get in so much trouble because Tony's not on this thing. I can't push this thing out. So I just walk across the stage like, and I just hear Bruce go, what? Ah! And I'm like, I just walk right across goes, and nothing happens. And this is the beginning of Act 1, right? So that you're doing the whole rest of Act 1. Like, I know I'm going to get ripped apart during intermission for this parade now going across.
Oh
And
my
for
God.
shit, sure, I was, right? So Bruce is giving notes, and he's sitting in like row 3. But Tony Grover is sitting back there with his hoodie up. His hoodie is on, the hood is up, and he's looking more intimidating than ever, right? Sitting behind Bruce as these notes are coming. And he goes, and Kyle, what happened? Where's my parade? Which I also don't understand why this is only my fault. Like, I was there were a lot of people involved in this, but of course, just like everything else, it's my fault.
It's a whole parade. It's a whole parade. There's supposed to be lots of people and floats. It's like, hey, Kyle, what went wrong?
What happened? And I was so I'm like really nervous. And as I'm telling this, it's like, you know what? I also think that Bruce knows the energy he projects, and that's why he chose me. Because he knew that I would shake and I would be nervous. Exactly. Now, as I'm retelling this, I'm like, this man absolutely had my number, right? But like, I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, Tropics. He couldn't get on the horse, and then and he's like, no matter what, he's like, I want to see that parade go. And I was like, well, Tony said he wasn't going to get on if Tropics wasn't going. Like he goes, no matter what, you tell Tony that this parade has to happen. Go. And I was like, I am not telling Tony Grover anything.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you tell Tony?
Exactly. I said, if that man said no, the answer is no. I was like, I'm not telling Tony nothing. And then everybody started laughing. I was like, I'm not playing. I was like, I'm not telling Tony anything. But yeah, so that was my big parade story. But then I found out that that Tony was actually super, super sweet. And he was just sitting back there, just laughing at this whole thing the entire time. Yeah, the whole thing was a total ruse just to fuck with me, really. But like, yeah, that was my parade experience. I was just very intimidated by everything.
Sure.
But yeah. It's just so funny that was. I can't believe that we actually met each other then. I did not.
Kyle, it was such a quick passing moment. Like, I only remember it because Jimmy had been talking about you for so long, and I was like, this is it. I'm finally gonna meet Kyle. Like, I had like a build up to it. For you, it was like, who is this little girl? Why is she talking to me? You know?
Right. And like, now that you actually know me, it's like, I was really worried about this mess. This. No, I am a walking disaster. Please. I don't know nothing. Nothing. Mm-mm.
I already know right now that I still have at least a couple stories I want to tell, but there's one that I'm like dying to tell.
Oh, please
right
do.
now.
Please do.
Okay. It has to do with a production of Spelling Bee, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
No.
That Kyle and
I'm
I
walking
did
away
together.
for 2 seconds, but I have to pee. But like, but I'm listening. I don't know if that's
which
going to work in
spelling
your
bee is
favor
this?
or
Because
not.
we did a spelling bee and you two did a spelling bee.
So this was at CM.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Kyle was the comfort counselor, and I played Chip Tolentino, the Boy Scout.
Okay.
And obviously, the Spelling Bee is such a fun show. The music is so fun. It's great, and like being in such a small cast is such like an awesome special thing. But Kyle and I mentioned, at one point during our friendship, we did not really see each other, speak to each other. But this was the first show, once we kind of came back into each other's lives, that we did together. And it's funny because, like, even in the time that we spent apart, like, we very quickly came right back to each other.
Sure.
Like, once we started doing shows again and together and stuff. And it's just so, do you know how every time a speller, right, gets eliminated from the spelling bee competition, they go and see the comfort counselor, right? They get a juice box, they get a hug, and they get a send off from the rest of the cast. The goodbye, goodbye. Yeah. I love that song so much. So during the point where my character Chip gets eliminated from the spelling bee, I go and I hug Kyle, the comfort counselor, And at that moment, there is a big freeze. I've been drawing this story out as much as possible, Kyle, until you got back, so you could be here.
Oh my
For the
god!
end.
He's really painting a picture.
I know. I was peeing so fast because I'm listening to this whole thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where it's going. Fuck.
Yeah. So in the moment where my character, my character as the kid, the Boy Scout Chip Tolentino, the former spelling champ, by the way, with a lot of pride and a lot of bragging rights on the line, I get eliminated, and it's supposed to be this big dramatic moment. The champ got eliminated. He's out. He got distracted by his boner. And now he's out. He's out. He spelled the word wrong. He's out. So now I have to go to the counselor, get my juice box, get my hug. So, but in the moment where I would hug Kyle playing the comfort counselor, there would be a freeze on stage. It would all be frozen. And it was during that. How long would you say it was, Kyle? It was a long freeze.
Yeah, it was at least a minute and a half because that's
because there's a whole monologue in there, right?
Yeah, there's a monologue, and Rona sings like a reprise of something.
Oh,
like,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's a song there.
Yeah, so you have to imagine that there's a full minute and a half that Kyle and I are supposed to be hugging each other, frozen while on stage. But we would always position our heads in a way so that we would be trying to give each other the worst possible wet willy without the audience being able to see. And like it was a nightly thing in rehearsals, like the cast didn't even know it was happening. And then during actual shows when we had like a paying audience of like 300 people, there'd be like 300 people in the audience, and me and Kyle, I just got eliminated. I'm crying, and then Kyle hugs me, and we're frozen, and both of us are just fighting in the background to see who can give which person the worst wet willy on stage in front of a giant crowd of people.
You are way underselling what this actually was. This was not your conventional wet willy. This was a full deep ear tonguing. Like that is what this is. I need to be as far upstage as possible with my head, like because that was part of the battle. Because you're about to freeze, so you're approaching. We would actually how can I get myself in the best position here to not be in danger but also be able to cause the most damage. Right, because the thing is you were frozen in this hug for as long as this song lasted, and if your head is not on the furthest upstage side, the other people are going to see this tonguing. So it's like, oh my gosh, like where are you gonna go? And you're faking each other out, and then and if I lock you in right there, then I'm there. And then oh my gosh, you win. Like, oh my gosh, you would feel it in the hug. Win. Yes, you would feel it in the hug because I would be hugging him like really hard because I wanted to lock him into the fact that I won, right? And you would feel it in him. He would just go
defeat
because he just knew. And then you just cradle the back of his head, right? And you just bring it in and just like and just bang. And there's not a damn all you can do because 300 people paid.
Right.
Yeah, I can't move. I can't pull away from the hug. I have to be frozen here.
You're in it. And it is just, when you lose, it's truly the most emasculating thing one could go through. Just knowing that I must accept this tonguing. But when you win, it's so sweet. It is so sweet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was spelling bee.
Oh wow, that was so much more
honestly. Yeah, that's the kind. Honestly, those are the kind of stories that I love. I think about theater more than anything. Like those little moments on stage that you're having with people that like aren't actually even part of the show. Matt Blevins wants Kyle to say tonguing one more time.
Oh, it was a good tonguing. It was a real good tonguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like those moments, like the games you would play on stage that weren't even a
I
part of the
remember-
show, that no one even knew what was happening. Like I did 42nd Street at Hofstra University, when the gray wig theater was still a thing, and I played Oscar, the piano player, and most of the scenes I was in, I was sitting behind a piano, so just sporadically, without warning, I would show up in a scene and just not wear pants. And people would like walk up to the piano and then just be like, okay, you're just in your boxers. Like they would find out like as they got to the piano. Like those were the types of games that I absolutely loved.
There's like, I remember always, it was either during Spelling Bee or during Camp Rock. I can't remember because they happened around the same time. But I remember playing Pass the Penny all the time, where like it's just like someone has a penny in their hand, and at some point during the scene, you just have to like pass the penny onto someone else, and you would see them like, shit, like looking around for like what they're gonna do with this penny, and it would last the entire show.
That, I have heard of that being played. I never actually got to participate in that. I think one of the more fun moments like that I had actually had to do with Diane, Mikey's mom. For those who don't know who Diane is, that's how we all actually met. That's how I actually knew Mikey, was because I was really, really good friends with his mom, and that's how we got to know each other. But I remember, like during like a double of Annie Warbucks, like my first show, we'd be standing on the Staten Island ferry, right, and she would walk up very authoritative, right. She goes, "We're getting Italian in between shows. What do you want to eat?" And like you're literally like placing food orders like on stage to make sure it's like delivered in between shows. Like moments like that, it's like so good. It's just so good. Yeah.
Oh God, that actually reminds me too of. Do you remember at Bayway, the Friendlies that was right down the street?
Oh yeah, I like Friendlies in East Islip. Hey.
Yeah. That kind of story reminds me. I honestly, at this point, I don't even remember what show it was, but there was a show where I did a lot in Act 1, was in a little bit of Act 2, and then either died or my character just wasn't around until the finale or whatever it was, right? But there was like a 30-minute window. There was like a 30-minute window where I didn't have to do anything on stage. So sometimes I would like finish my part in Act 2 and then literally drive to Wendy's, to Friendly's, order food, and then try to make it back in time and like try to make sure that I was getting on for the next scene in time. It might have been All Shook Up.
Was it All Shook Up?
It might have been All Shook Up, actually. Because Dean, right?
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember you doing that.
Yeah. That might be the show that it was. Because I remember Dean was in it for a while and then, sings the song and gets on the bus, right, and leaves and then doesn't show up till the end. So that probably was the one. You don't see him
again until very late, yeah.
Maybe.
Funny. I don't remember you doing that.
I just find it a little surprising that you don't remember exactly what the role was in which you did that, because that feels like a very special thing to do, something that one would remember. And I feel like you're leaving out certain parts of this story to make it sound like you were not being as reckless as you actually were being.
What do you mean?
I just feel like you remember a little bit more about this than you are purporting.
Kyle,
how
were you involved?
Yeah, I don't know what you're insinuating.
I don't think I'm insinuating at all. I think I'm saying,
Kyle, how were you involved? Tell me.
I'm not involved at all. I don't have any other tea. I'm just challenging from a place of nothing. It's just, the way the story was told, I feel like certain things were omitted that you actually did.
No.
You're like, I don't really know what it was. Did I die? Was I murdered? Did I have another scene? I don't really remember.
Because
these are actually integral things.
Because I did multiple shows there where roles that I played either died or didn't die.
You did have a lot of downtime in that show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
that's why I was like, well, maybe it was this one.
Right. It's just that it's not customary, right, for one to leave the theater and return in the middle of a show, right? That is, I feel like that's something that should be very present in your mind. So if for this to happen,
this is like over 10 years ago.
the layout of that theater, like of any theater, that is the easiest one to sneak out of during a show. Like just the way that where the dressing rooms are positioned in regards to like where the parking lot is.
Absolutely. I had such a terrible experience at Bayway, actually. Yeah, I did. Like I did High School Musical 1 there. I was Jack Scott. That was actually a really, really good time. It was really, really fun. But then when we did High School Musical 2, I had auditioned for that, and I was cast, and then I was fired before I even got to the first rehearsal because yeah, my role, because I was cast as Jack Scott again, because they said they wanted to have the continuity from their production of High School Musical 1, which was perfect for me, to be the nerd. Fine. The non-dancing nerd. Of course, great. And then I was reduced to a voiceover. And I said, all right. And they're like, well, you can still dance in the ensemble numbers. And I said, okay, well, whatever. Like, the ensemble numbers in High School Musical 2 are actually amazing. Right? High School Musical 2 is a real bona fide bop, and I feel like it gets
that is the only production of that show I've ever seen happen. I've never seen another production other than that Bayway one. Like I've never known anyone else to do it.
I was only a High School Musical 1 person. I have actually not even watched the whole movies of like High School Musical 2 or anything else.
3 is so good. 3 is so good.
Oh, really? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Because I thought 3 was a snoozer.
A snoozer.
Yeah, I fell asleep during 3, and I never actually.
I haven't seen it. So
no. My order is 3-1-2. 3 is so good because 3 also
3-1-2. Wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Listen.
Whoa. Woo. Bonk.
Wait, hold on. There's new reactions.
Oh yeah.
The reactions for this. Come on, Streamlabs.
I'm not saying 2 is bad. 3 had an actual cinematic release, so it had like a movie budget. So it's so good. No.
I do just want to let everyone know that not only did I play Troy Bolton at Cap, I also played Troy Bolton at Bayway. So in High School Musical 1, literally the worst dancer in Long Island Theater played like a super heavy dance role for some reason.
Booked and blessed, all right?
Before you guys get into some other conversation about High School Musical 2, I just want to make sure that y'all know that I was Troy Bolton twice, okay? I want to make sure that y'all know that I'm thebomb.com. Okay.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous. I have something that I'd like to say.
Hold on. We are not done with this High School Musical 2 thing, okay?
We're not telling High School Musical. The 3-1-2 thing?
Yeah. What? Two last? What are you talking about?
I'm not saying it's bad, but the first one is a class. Listen, there are bops in High School Musical 2, all right? I'm not slandering High School Musical 2.
Yeah, all right. Like, you better support this a little bit more. Because
I didn't say it was bad, but when there are only 3 movies, one has to be third.
And that's fine. But we are not gonna walk away from this conversation without giving High School Musical 2 the due flowers.
I would never.
If you're gonna rate, if you're gonna rate it last, you're gonna make sure they get their tulips.
Listen, bops on bops.
High School Musical 2 also gave us Fabulous. Okay. Fabulous, diddly beep. Fabulous, bop 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 bop. I don't remember all the words. It's been a long time, but I at least.
Oh my god!
But High School Musical 2.
Can you send that? Can you send that in a voice note in the group chat, the podcast group chat later, please?
I don't know. I'm gonna give Trissy a little bit of a run for her money. She says she was dropping tunes in her group chat too. People love that John was doing that. I didn't know that John was going to be Twitter famous over his voice notes.
No. You guys got to, Get with it.
That is my simple request. I know. All right,
Listen, my biggest flex is I still know every line to every song in all 3 of those movies. All right.
Listen, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I've been moving. I'm exhausted. I'm quick, fast, in a hurry on the road here to Crossfaded. So what do you want from me?
Can I say something?
Yo, DM Rocks is here. Hey.
DM Rocks. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Welcome back. Welcome back to the chat.
I'd like to say something, if that's all right.
Say it.
Well, I wasn't sure because I don't know. We've been talking about a lot of High School Musical stuff, and
that is your simple request.
I'd like to say something.
to speak.
My God.
At this point, the edible has kicked in. But
Whatever.
I want to say something. I want to say something because here's the thing, right? Kyle has complimented both my voice and Gina's voice tonight, and Gina really does have a very beautiful voice. If you haven't heard her sing on social media and stuff, check it out. But here's the thing.
Listen, Gina can sing the fucking house down. All right.
Oh yeah.
This bitch could sit down with the fucking Yellow Pages and be like, Super Mario Brothers plumbing, and just bring the house down. Get out of here, get out of here.
Okay, but here's what I want to say because you've been very kind to compliment us, and you also were talking about a story before about how you were on stage alone for the first time. But I do have to say that if you're going to compliment us, Kyle is the only one here who has done several one-man shows at theaters all over Long Island. Okay?
Not all over, but all right.
People come from all over to see you.
Oh, that's
because, and that's the thing, your shows are so good, and I have never done anything like this. I don't think, Gina, have you done anything like that?
No.
The way that Kyle tells stories and how engaging he is, and just draws you in so much. But then he also has a fantastic voice. You've been talking about me and Gina all night and our voices. You have such a nice voice, and what I love about your shows also is the fact that interspersed with your stories, you could be singing a show tune or a holiday song or a pop song, or you're very versatile. You can't, you're talking about us. Don't sell yourself short there, buddy.
That's so
100%, absolutely, and well deserved.
Oh, well, thanks. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. I miss that. I miss it a lot. It was a really, really good time. That was a nice period in life. Oh my gosh, do you remember I don't know what Christmas show it was, but because we always ended up at South Shore Dive after one of my shows, but
Oh, I already know where you're going with this.
I also have a feeling I know where you're going with this, and I don't like it.
There was a core group at that time, and Gina was still new. Gina was still new to us. It would be so different if we all went out now, for sure. But Gina was still new then. I don't know. Gina latched on quick, and we took her. But we were at South Shore Dive, and the family wanted to take a little picture outside because South Shore Dive would make it snow, and they had this little bubble blower outside.
John, I swear to God, if you're pulling up what I think you're pulling up on your phone right now, scream.
What do you mean?
We took this picture. There was the family smiling outside. This was also, if memory serves me right, wasn't this also the Christmas cabaret that I had that infected tooth? And I still did this show. It was. So my cheek was blown up, and we're outside the bar with these fake snows coming down, and the family took a picture, and then Gina was just in the background just mean mugging the entire
no, listen, can I tell this from my perspective, please? I am hanging out with this group of people that hangs out with each other all the time, and they were like, oh, let's take a family picture. So I tried to scoot out of the way, and I thought I was completely out of the frame because I said, I can't get into this picture of this group of friends that I'm not really a part of.
No, you were part of it.
No, you guys would hang out literally every Sunday, for hours on end. I wasn't really I was friends with all of you, but I wasn't a part of the group that would hang out all the time.
No, I mean,
You were
no,
part
she's
of it.
no, she wasn't. She wasn't.
I wasn't.
No, and it's
And it's
okay.
okay.
No, it's okay
It's
to say
okay. If
no.
I wasn't. I was still friends with you all. It just wasn't in the
No,
group.
she wasn't. She wasn't. And again, it would be different now. Like this was a long time ago when you really think
Yeah.
about it. Like
It
this
really
It
was.
was.
this was like what? This is like 6 years ago. Like
Yeah.
when you really think about it, like this was like a really long time ago. Yeah, like things would be so different now. But like, no, you definitely were not a part of it. like you weren't. And like we were all like taking our pictures, and she was like,
I thought I was out of
No.
frame. I
so
didn't
good.
know I could be seen in the picture.
And we were all like, this is such a great picture. But oh, look at Gina in the bag. Why does she look so angry?
I just tried to get. That's my face. It's just my face.
It's so long ago. It's so long ago that
Oh,
I don't
no.
even know how to find it right now, honestly.
Oh my
thank
gosh.
God.
But you know
No.
what we can always do? We can make a clip of this and then post a picture to go
If
with
this
it.
picture
You know?
ends up on the socials, I swear to God.
Oh no, it will. Because I know I have it. No, I know
wonder
I
if
have
I
it.
have it. Let's see.
Oh, I just found it. I just found it.
I'm about to say I definitely have it because there's no way because this was
God.
linked to one of my shows. I would not have deleted it. Because,
Right.
like, because it's a
Oh,
memory. It's
no.
special. Like it doesn't matter. It's special even it's actually more special because of the way that this happened and because of who you are to us
This
now.
picture became a thing. Like John would send me this picture like months later. We wouldn't speak for like months, and then John would just send me this picture with no context. Kyle, look up.
Oh my gosh, yes, there it is. There it is with our bubble snow.
I was gonna try to upload the picture into Streamlabs, but then I remembered the Sonia Kruger fiasco.
Oh
so
yes. Oh my God.
there's
Which is
Gina.
No, I literally when I
so
tell you,
angry.
John and I would not speak for months, and then I would
Wait.
just get this picture texted to me, and I was like, "What? Why? Why are you doing this to me?"
What year was this? What year does that say? If you post that on Instagram, it's got to have it. What's the date?
Let's see.
God, when would that have
It
been?
was. God, I hate social media. It says 287 weeks ago.
What
Are
does
you
that
kidding
mean?
me? 287. Oh, weeks ago. Wait, I'm so confused. That's a long time.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
it
not
said
doing
on
that math.
Instagram.
That's too much.
Oh my
It
God.
says it's 2009 days.
No better.
How many years, John?
Yeah, well, I'm looking that up now. I first tried how I guess I should have done it differently. I said how many days is 287 weeks? It's 5.5
Aw.
years. 5.5 years.
5.5 years. That was 2018
Yeah.
or
Damn.
2017.
So this picture is 5.5 years old.
Wow,
Oh my God.
that is really ridiculous.
So stupid.
I want to find more with Gina. Oh my gosh, there's
Oh,
so many.
man.
There's just so many old pictures. Look, this was October 15th, 2017. Would you look at this?
Babies.
Do you think that's during spelling bee?
No, this was at the apartment with Steve.
So this must have been after I saw Grease, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I moved in with Steve right after Grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really that when you were in that show, and I came out to see you in that. That was when I really finally came back to life.
Oh,
You
we
found
already
it.
talked about it.
I did find it. December 4th, 2017 at 1:20 a.m.
I found this one from, I believe it's opening of In the Heights.
That
Oh.
is
Children.
opening of In the Heights. Oh,
Babies.
Wow. Blevins wants to know if anyone of us has done Grease or Wicked.
Wicked don't work that way.
Yeah,
But
Wicked's still on
Grease, I have
Broadway, so we
certainly
can't.
done. Grease, I
Yeah,
have
I did
certainly
Grease
done.
I did Grease in high school. I wasn't anything. I was just ensemble.
I've done Grease,
But I
what,
fell.
twice? 3 times?
I fell from a very high ladder when I was doing Grease in high school, and I hurt my knee. Hurt my knee super bad, and it was in the middle of a show, and it was like dark, and I was backstage, and I like fell off a ladder.
Oh no!
It was not good. That was in high school. Yeah.
Spans.
Yeah.
I was Teen Angel for one performance only,
And it was
that's
phenomenal.
right.
Phenomenal.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. You were there. That was quite.
So
the
we were all
performance.
there. We were all there.
You were all there, and then
All three of us.
That was actually the real comeback of John.
Yeah, that was my official emergence back into the world,
to the petty sphere. I actually have a video of that. You know what else I found though?
Uh-oh.
So here's the picture with Gina, right?
The edit that cropped me out of it.
Yes.
Yes.
John took me right out of that picture. Look at this.
I don't think that was me. I don't think I did that.
Was it Kyle?
I did.
I thought it was you. Oh,
I did this. Family.
Jeez, wow.
Cut
Family.
right out.
That really is. That is. Wait, can you show that again?
That's disrespectful. That is
Yeah, we
messed
didn't-
up.
Listen, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Cut me right on out.
I don't know. I don't even
Can
know
you
what to say.
believe? Can you believe?
Family.
No. Rough.
Family.
Rough.
And you know what the
And
next
not
one?
nice.
We love you, Gina. We love you so much.
Of course we do.
Mhm.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
And
I
not
still-
nice.
I still choose to spend at least one night a week with you. Like,
Yeah.
The next picture is this. Do you remember this, John? From when Steve had messed up the living room and he knew I was going to be
Yes.
pissed.
Yes, I do. We will discuss furniture placement tonight. Don't judge this room yet.
I took one look in that room and I went, I just went in my bedroom and I
no.
just closed it. Yeah.
Steve,
Oh, gosh.
I would go over to Steve and Kyle's apartment to hang out, and I would walk up the stairs, and there would be a chore list for me. I'd be like, I don't even live here.
Yeah, but you were over enough that you might as well have.
Yeah, I was literally there like 5 out of 7 days a week at one point, like for like 3 years, whatever,
Yeah.
however long it was. Oh yeah, that was me.
God.
Yeah, you deserve chores. You
Oh
deserve chores.
gosh.
You deserve chores.
You deserve chores. I don't know what you're talking about. You got a lot of dinners. A lot of dinners. Yeah, you can go take the garbage out. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
I haven't got much else.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we all have a million stories, but we'll be here all night.
Yeah. But I think I've told all the stories I need to tell tonight. There was something else I was thinking about before. I can't remember it. I'm not going to try to now. It's
Well,
already late.
I could tell the story about how John almost tried to kill me in Into the Woods, but
Oh wow, I don't remember that.
Why don't you?
I don't
so
know.
we
I'm
did
really
Into the
only
Woods.
trying to wrap up because I have to pee again. But if you have a
Oh,
story,
no,
then,
no.
then I can walk away and listen. So go ahead.
I will tell this one last story and then we can go night. But we were in Into the
I don't
Woods.
have
I
to.
was
I'm going to pee. Go ahead.
I was playing Rapunzel. John was the narrator, and the way that the blocking worked is that Rapunzel's
Narrator
power was like,
and mysterious man.
okay, great, thank you. The way that the blocking worked is there was this big like staircase on wheels that like I would climb up, and that would be my tower, and I would go like from stage left to stage right, and the tower would start spinning as it was moving, and John would be the one moving the stairs. And I, as Rapunzel, had hair that was about 10 feet longer than I am tall, and the dress was too big on me, so I had to like wrap my hair around me and pull the dress up in a very specific way to be able to walk up this staircase. And there was one performance where I didn't really have a very good grip on it, and I'm walking up the stairs, and I'm Rapunzel. I'm supposed to be this princess walking up the staircase, and I keep tripping. Do you remember this? Do you know what I'm saying? I keep tripping over my dress and I can't walk, but like the staircase keeps spinning and I'm burning a hole into his eyes. Like, stop spinning the staircase. But he just keeps monologuing, spinning the staircase and pushing me. And I'm like falling up the stairs. Like, I'm going to kick his ass when I get off this stage. Whatever. We do the scene, we do the song, blah, blah, blah. I get backstage. I said, John, what the hell? And he just looks at me with panic in his face and goes, I was told to turn the stairs. Like,
I cannot be blamed for your wardrobe malfunction. I am trying to create
could have
art.
Helped out a little.
I'm sorry. I am there to create art.
He just goes, I'm supposed to spin the stairs.
I cannot be blamed for your wardrobe malfunction. Like you also said, it's such a tinge of judges.
His wig was so long. I was like, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Oh, it was so bad. I was so angry.
What other stage mishaps do we have?
You're not.
Stage mishaps.
Stage mishaps.
There was one time that I was doing Les Mis, and there was a kid that was playing Gavroche, and he peed his pants on stage at the moment that we were all passing him, like after he had died in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a mishap.
Oh no!
So it was. That was a mishap. You're silly. That's fun. All right.
That's fun.
I feel like I have other stories. I don't know how to tell them because they're really bad. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm actually deciding against my own topic. I have had moments that like I've just walked off because I don't handle it so well when things don't go the way they're supposed to, right? Because you're like, I like structure, like everything's supposed to be like a certain way. And even if it's my fault, like I'll just like leave. So there was like a performance actually like I'll just leave. I just like walk away. Like so there's a performance of like YPT Parade. There is a song. I think it's Not Over Yet, where there's that whole montage where there's all these different scenes in the song, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yes, and that's where Newt Lee is basically saying, he tells either the reporter or maybe Mrs. Frank, or he tells somebody that like, I don't know, there was some inconsistency with the story. I don't exactly remember like the specifics, but there was so good. So you're not really being spoiled, right? But Newt Lee says something in there, and I was speaking. Oh yes, it was to Lucille and somebody else. And I just remember just going, the music is playing, and like it's such a tricky moment, right? Because you have, for people who have never been in a show like this, right? When the band is playing and there's this underscoring, you only have so much time to say what you have to say because there's other people who have things to say after you in time with the music, right? So you are really pressured. So I was standing there and like, I don't know, she said something and I just went up and I started talking and I couldn't remember anything. I just looked at her and I was trying to remember. And by the time it got to me, it didn't matter, right? Because I didn't have enough time to say it now because it took too long. So I just went, ah! And I just walked off. I just walked away.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I had people in the audience and they just like texting me and it's like, oh, LOL, like what the hell was that? And I was like, I don't know. I had no time. Yeah, it's just, not good. So that's a mishap. That was a mishap.
Well, It's not a mishap, but Kyle, I did remember something funny from rehearsals for In the Heights just now.
Oh
So,
no.
so I played Nina and Kyle played the Piragua guy. And when Nina first enters, she sings a song called Breathe, and it's about how, like, she's back in, her town after going away to college. And the song opens with the Piragua guy coming on stage and he sings his little thing, and then Nina starts her song. And what should have happened, like the way that it always should have been blocked, is that there should have been like scenes happening around me as I was singing. That like I'm not singing to, and do you know what I'm about to say? I'm not singing to anybody. I'm just like singing like my thoughts, and life is happening around me. But for the first, I want to say like 2 weeks of rehearsal, nobody else was blocked in the scene. So Kyle would come out with his little cart and he would sing his opening thing, and then he would just go and just freeze with like the most like stoic, like serious expression on his face, holding his little cart. And I would just be singing and like not really knowing what to do or where to go, because just Kyle on stage, deadpan, not looking at me. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he turned to me at one point, like as I'm singing, he's like, am I supposed to look at you? I don't know what's happening. So he was like, I'm sorry, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Like, we have to stop. But I just have like such a clear memory of him singing his little thing, like all happy smiles, and just like
it was literally the most awkward thing, and I really do feel like if we didn't say anything in that moment, that nobody
it would have
else
stayed that way.
Yes, nobody else ever would have been blocked into that. Like, you're literally supposed to be on the street, but the only people on the street was me with my Padagua cart. And it's like, what is this? And it's like, if you don't put people in this scene, this is awful. We can't do 4 minutes of just us. Are you just wandering aimlessly in the street?
You went from having this big glowing smile on your face to like you were made of stone, and you were like, I am here to freeze. She's not singing to me. I will be frozen and I will stand here with my cart.
Right, because like I didn't have anything to say. How am I supposed to interact with you?
Oh my god.
You're not singing to me. It's not anything I'm supposed to be reacting to. Because you're supposed to be having your own moment. So what the hell am I supposed to do?
It would be like that. And like we never talked to each other about like we both independently knew it was wrong, but we never discussed it with each other or with anybody else. So it just kept happening until he fully stopped in the middle of rehearsal one day and went, I can't do this anymore. What's supposed to happen right now?
Because it was in that part of the act where no one gives a shit. Like, it's like, do you know what I'm talking about?
It's like the second song in.
Yes, it's like that in between. You have the beginning of Act 1, and then you have the finale of Act 1, right? That's how an act is formed. There's always like 1 or 2 big songs in the middle, and then there's always these little dinkies in between. But Breathe is not really a dinky. Breathe is a beautiful song, but it gets forgotten because
dinky.
Yeah, it's not a dinky.
I love calling it a dinky.
No, because what a dinky is, inutile is a dinky.
Yes.
That's a dinky. But Breathe gets that same treatment, and it shouldn't. Sure. And that's what was happening, because every time you would think it would be addressed during notes, it didn't, because it was getting that dinky treatment. And it's like, we eventually were like, no, stop it. Stop. I'm not a dinky. Okay, you're gonna listen to me. This is not working. It's not working. We have to figure this out.
I also remember there was one time, like, Kyle does this fun thing sometimes where, like, if something goes wrong, he'll do a buzzer, and that's just like his thing that he's known for. And the top
of
that one. So at the top of the second act, the way that In the Heights starts at the beginning of Act 2 is that, like, Nina and Benny come out of on the fire escape, and they sing a whole song up on the fire escape. So before the scene, we would have to be set up at the top, on the top of the ladder, so that we could just pop out of the fire escape at the beginning of the act. So they call places, and we're up there, and no one else is backstage because no one else has to be on. But Kyle, again, like, he has this cart, and the way that the set was built and the amount of space that we had, there was an exact angle that he has to be set up to be able to push the cart through to get on stage, or it's not coming out. It has to be set up just right. But So he thought he was coming out super early and like getting himself set up because he didn't know that Leland and I were on the top platform waiting to come out for sunrise. So all of a sudden we hear Kyle hitting into things with the cart. He's going as he's hitting things, like hitting it, and we start laughing, and he looks up and goes, ah, ha, 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 and then like walks away. And I look at Leland and I was like, do you think he knew we were up here? And he was like, I don't know. So after the scene, we come down and we're like, Kyle, were you doing that because we were on the platform? And he went, that was just for me. I thought I was alone. You're making these sounds at yourself, trying to like situate.
Yes, I just like to have a good time when I'm by myself. Like
you look like a deer in headlights. You went, I know, right?
Yeah, I was like embarrassed. I was embarrassed because like you guys don't understand. Like I really do enjoy being alone. I enjoy being by myself. I crack myself up. Like I
like being alone also.
Yeah, I just be walking around just laughing all the time. And it's like that was like one of those moments. I was just having a good time. I didn't know I had an audience. Yeah, I was embarrassed.
All the time.
Do you think that we all
like, whatever.
Do you think that we all like being alone sometimes because we've all experienced being on stage and being looked at by lots of people for many years doing shows and stuff?
I hate being perceived. Do not perceive me. Let me be alone.
You know what I mean? It's like
there are like if I'm on stage, I would like to be perceived, and if I am not, nobody look at me ever.
Right. When you think about how like long all three of us have done theater and how many shows we've done, like we've probably all been in, several. Close to 1,000 shows, right? And all those shows have audiences. So how many people have we been on stage in front of that are just looking at us, watching us sing or try to act or emote, like try to show emotion? It's like, it makes sense that people like us would like to be alone sometimes.
I thrive in my alone time.
Absolutely. Especially after like my cabarets and stuff, like because like I always shared a lot of like my personal life, and because I did that, I feel like a lot of people felt like they had access to ask me certain questions, and like because
oh, I think something has happened.
Kyle, you got a little quiet on us, Kyle.
No, I saw him take out his headphones. He knows.
He was talking, but it doesn't help because I don't know what she's saying. Oh, I can hear now.
There you are. No, I was saying I saw you take out your headphones, so you knew there was a problem.
About one because one died, then the other one didn't. So I said, "Ooh, so maybe I can charge in time." So I guess I'm gonna see how this goes. But yeah, so people would just like be asking me questions, like they just think that they have access to you because now you've presented your life in an entertainment kind of way. So it's like it isn't really an overstep on them. It's not really out of bounds, really, because you brought it up. But it's like, how do you draw that? How do you draw a line? And like, I really struggled with that. Like it was tricky because then you felt like, no, I have to answer these people because I brought it up. Yeah. So no, I definitely enjoy being alone. I think as a result of some of that, like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't use your life as entertainment. I highly advise against it.
I will say though that did also just remind me of one of my favorite onstage mishaps from one of your shows.
Which one?
The love me,
we
love
had
me
a
not.
lot of mishaps.
The love me not moment.
Oh my god!
I still have that video somewhere.
I have that video somewhere. I think I'm gonna have to post a few things on the socials after all this. I do have like clips of all these things that we've discussed.
That was such a funny moment.
Oh my gosh. Because I was so excited to sing that song because I love that song so much. And we were getting into I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like well, the bridge really, but the climax of the song, right? This is what everybody, anyone who knows this song, we were waiting for this moment.
But like when I
And
tell you, like it is the second to last line of the song, just so you know, the entire song has been sung up until this point. Please continue.
yes, and I go to hit this note, and it was an absolute clunker. I was like, ball. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what I did. It was so bad. And I said, that's it. Stop. We are starting from the beginning. I was like, I see Gina is out here. She is recording. We're starting again. And Matt, my piano player, was like, oh, so you want to just start like from this part in the middle of the song? I said, no, absolutely not. We're starting all over from the absolute beginning. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. We're recording. Let's go.
But it's the way, because what ended up happening, he was like, oh, so like you want to take it from here? And Kyle just goes, no, Matthew, what you don't know, and just starts singing the song, and Matt's like, oh okay. So it just starts like
If
playing.
you don't know.
No, Matthew, and just starting to sing it, and he was like, oh, I guess, okay, we're starting over.
No, we are starting all over. We're singing it all over again. Sorry.
Of the song and said we're doing the whole song over. I'm so sorry.
That entire night was actually a nightmare. Like that was also the night that like because it was hot, right? And I had that fan that had like the gay pride like ribbons like built into the fan, and then it blew my lyrics off the music stand, right?
Yes.
And then Emily Edwards had to help us get like the music up because I couldn't.
Was that
over.
the one you did it with Emily and Mikey?
Yeah, that was the same show. Yeah, that was all that night. That was all that night.
You know,
what a mess.
I've done a lot of shows. I've done a lot of shows with a lot of people and sung a lot of songs, but one of my favorite moments performing will always be when you and I and Jay all sang "Oh Holy Night" 3-part harmony together in your Christmas show.
It was a really good one.
That's
a really good one.
Yeah, it was really special. That was special. The Christmas shows were special. It was all the other ones that was like weird.
I think that Christmas show was the night of that picture.
I think it was too.
That's the night. That's the night that Kyle and Jay and I all sang "Oh Holy Night," and it was just a few short hours later that you were photobombing us with a very angry face.
By accident.
Wasn't that also the night that we were taking those donations for that family, right? That was the also good thing about the Christmas shows. We always had like a nice thing going on too. We always did something nice. Those summer shows are always like weird. There's like something wonky going on. But like the Christmas shows are the special ones. Yeah, Christmas was great.
Yeah,
and those are my favorites.
What was the 7-star swap? They had the at South Shore Dive. They had
that sign on the front door.
That sign on the front door, right?
Yeah.
Which one was that? I don't remember that.
That was definitely a Christmas show.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like that could have been that same night. I feel like that was all that night, because that's when Marielle was a part of our group, because that was only a moment in time too. That Marielle was a part of like the core group. Because Marielle was part of that 7-star swap story. For those that don't know, we are big Mario Party fans, right? Like
I remember this story.
Yeah, and we take Mario Party very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yes.
Very seriously. Very.
So, yes.
Right, I'm done now.
It was me, John, Steve, my former roommate, and Jay, and her partner and their partner at the time, Marielle. They were playing as a team, and they were playing quite possibly one of the worst games I had ever seen. Like they were losing every single mini game. They had like no coins, like they had no stars, like they had absolutely nothing going on,
They,
right?
they,
Like
they
nothing.
had no agency in the
Oh
game
my gosh, absolutely
whatsoever.
not. Like no one was taking them seriously. It didn't matter what was going on. Like even if there was a duel, this duel is like there are 148 coins on the line. No one thought they would get any of them. Like they were not a threat. The game was really about me, John, and Steve, right? Like that's how this game was shaken out. And at this moment, like Steve had 7 stars, and and Steve really took Mario Party very seriously. Like he
Yeah, I know he
memorized.
screwed me that one time I played with you
Oh
guys.
yes, like no, like Steve would memorize a map and he would understand the pattern in which the star would land next. Like Steve knew Mario Party.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
honestly, you really couldn't step to this man. Like strategy wise, like this man, like really knew what was going on. So, so we're playing the game, and I'm telling you, we are in the 11th hour. Like, I don't know how many turns it was, so we can basically say, let's just say it was a 15 turn game. We were basically on turn 13 or 14, right? We come down to one of these crazy like swap things. Like one of those like chance blocks. It's like and it was literally like swap stars. And
Yeah.
it was swapped between Steve and then like Marielle and Jay. And oh my goodness, when I tell you, when like an energy in a room just like shifts and like all of a sudden it's like mad uncomfortable like that. I'm telling you that it's exactly what it was. Like everybody was like, oh yeah, girl, we can. Right. All of a sudden it was like bang, bang, 7 stars, like 7-0, right? Literally went from first to last. When I'm saying it was like, hee, ooh.
See, and the best part about all of this too, like, is that like who it happened to, because like the 7-star swap would have been a legendary story no matter what. Like Marielle and Jay were playing literally the worst game of Mario Party you could ever play. Had done nothing.
Ever.
You literally start off the game.
They gave up too. Like Uber Eats came and they went down. They didn't even care. The
Yeah.
was going on. They wasn't even playing. Like they knew they lost. Like it was a total give up. Like
And it's not even like they started at 0 and they were still at 0 all the way till the last turn of the game. Like at the start of the game, the very first turn, you are given 10 coins. They had no stars and no coins. Like it was the last turn of the game. Like they were a net negative the whole game. And then all of a sudden this swap comes and they steal 7 stars from Steve. And like Kyle and I have played so many video games with Steve that like we have learned that you can play a game with Steve for a while, and if he's winning, good. The second that you start beating him, he is never going to play that game ever again. So to see Jay and Marielle have nothing, no coins, no stars, randomly go to this swap, and I think it's because Steve landed on the spot. Now all of his stars get transferred to Marielle and Jay, and he goes from being in first place to last.
and it's like so good.
Yeah, anyone else, like I would have been pissed, but I feel like eventually I would have laughed. And I feel like Kyle probably would have done the same. Steve probably still has nightmares about that moment.
It was so good. It was so good. And it really it translated into such a great Christmas story. And then obviously, like a couple of the employees from South Shore Dive were at the show. And then they knew that the after party was going to be at that bar. So they raced back. And they put a little sign on the door that said 7-star swap, a little star emoji.
Don't remember that.
Yeah. I definitely have a picture of that somewhere too.
That's so funny. No, I learned very quickly how ruthless he was with video games, because I remember like I came to your apartment that time and I was playing Mario Party with you guys, and it was like me, Kyle, Steve, and then the computer player. That's so funny.
Yeah.
South Shore Dive.
South Shore Dive.
It was me, Kyle, Steve, and the computer player. And I landed on something or like found something that's like I could steal a star from somebody. So I was like, I wonder who I will pick. And Kyle was like, well, I know who you better pick. So I stole from the computer because I was being polite. And these are my friends who I am playing with. The moment that Steve got the chance, I think he stole 3 stars from me over the course of that game. And I was like, I spared you. And he said, yeah. And that was a mistake. And I was like, oh, we're not playing for fun. this is not a good time we're having here.
He's ruthless. He's ruthless. It's like, this is not the spirit of the game. Okay. This is not what Mr. Miyamoto had in mind when he started this game.
We also, during this same game, I guess like we got wrapped up in conversation, so we weren't watching the TV at every turn. And Kyle at some point had gotten some kind of a power. I don't remember what it was, but I guess like we were talking amongst ourselves and didn't see him get it. So like we didn't really know that it was there. So like we continue playing the game, we're talking, and Kyle goes in to like pick something that he has to like use it for like a turn or whatever. And he scrolls past this thing and he goes, oh, I didn't want you to see that I had that. And like just like goes back on something else. And I went, wait a second. You didn't want me to see that you had what? He went, and I was like, no. You said, I don't want you to know that I have that. What do you have? And he would not go back into his backpack until he used it at the end of the game to annihilate us. I don't even remember what it was, but you won the game with whatever that power was. And I went, you little shit. I just hear, oh no, I don't want you to know I have that. He just kind of like scrolls past it. I went, straight.
I have to say,
I don't remember this, but it does sound like me.
Yeah. I will say that, like, for the most part, unless it's like Super Smash Brothers, let's say, right? Kyle and we usually definitely, especially when we're playing with other people, play by like gentlemen's rules. Like, we might steal coins from each other in Mario Party, but we generally won't steal stars from each other. Like, Steve does that. Other people do that. But Kyle and I will not steal stars from each other. We'll steal maybe coins or something, like I said. But, like, and then even in, like, Mario Kart, if we're playing with like people online or like like we won't go after each other sometimes by accident. I've thrown a red shell or two.
Remind me to never play any of these games with you two because I will get screwed.
Yeah, in Mario Kart, I definitely do not attack John. Even if I'm in second place and I have like 3 red shells circling around.
I do the same thing though. If I'm in second and I see Kyle's in first.
The thing is, like, John does annihilate me a lot, and he acts like he's like,
no.
That's a mistake. Oh, that's the
no. See, this is a mischaracterization. This is a mischaracterization. I will not deny that I have hit Kyle at times. I will not deny that he has hit me at times. I will also say, I will also say that if I do hit Kyle, it is not in a position when we are both 1 and 2 and he's in front of me and I have an item. It'll be more like we're both middle of the pack. Maybe I'm trying to knock off somebody else, but the shell goes around them and hits him instead. These are the situations where I will accidentally hit him sometimes. I never hit him on purpose, even if he doesn't believe that.
Wow, this is not how it works in my apartment. The way that like James and I are out for blood for each other when we play Mario Kart.
Oh wow. No.
We are very respectful. And we also listen.
At the end of the day,
we also listen to the Pointer Sisters.
They were second.
Yeah. We are brothers. We look out for each other. We have each other's backs. We like to listen to
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
It can't be me. It's got to be you.
And like,
I can never play video games with you two. Then I'm gonna get screwed left, right, and center. It's always gonna be at me.
And Kyle and I've played Mario Kart with Kyle and John, and it's intense. Yeah, we're like a force. We're like a team, and we are usually rocking out to the Pointer Sisters while we're driving in Mario Kart.
Oh my god!
I've been something.
Yes. The Pointer Sisters are the ultimate, like, fucking, like...
Literally, yeah. If no one has ever done it, you have to drive in Mario Kart with the Pointer Sisters blasting. It is so good.
We have a killer playlist. We have a killer playlist that actually ends with Prince. It is an amazing Mario Kart playlist. It's actually named Double Dash. That's where it was born. That's where it was born.
Yeah,
During our
from Double Dash. That's
days.
right.
Double Dash days. Yep, yep. The Pointer Sisters are the ultimate karting soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah. So good. Imagine listening to Jump while you're driving down the track.
Please, you have no idea.
Oof.
Going down Rainbow Road? Are you kidding me?
Oh God, it's fantastic.
Oh my God. It is the best. It's the best. Oh, it slaps so hard. Whoa, it's the best. We're gonna share
It really
it.
does.
We're gonna share it. We have a
fucking
lot of things to talk
slaps.
about on our social media
Yes.
now.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we have a lot of stuff. What the hell is this? By Van Halen? What by Van Halen?
Oh, Jump.
Oh. No. Pointer Sisters, okay?
I will say I do enjoy the song Dance the Night Away by Van Halen. I do think that is a fun song, if you've heard that.
I don't know Van Halen.
No. Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man by Van Halen is also very fun.
I don't know her either.
All right, then.
I'm sorry. I don't know Van Halen. I'm sorry.
No, but like it's so like that's Jump, yeah.
Oh, I know this song. That's Van
Jump.
Halen?
That's Jump, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. I know that song.
Like conversations like this is why I have so much fun in our blend playlist, because I love playing the game of who does this song belong to and just putting it on shuffle and seeing what happens. Because we all have such vastly different tastes in music.
Yeah, I haven't looked at our blend recently.
It's been a minute since I've been on there, but we all have very vastly different tastes in music. It's very fun.
Well, we do have different tastes in music, but I am constantly surprised by what we have in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gina and John have Junk by Paul McCartney in common. Junk.
We actually have a lot of songs in common, which is so funny considering how vastly different the rest of our playlist is.
Right. It's so
Junk is a song that I recently played on the piano and sang and posted
how
on
about
Instagram.
That? Wow.
So, love Junk. It's a fantastic song.
Kyle and Gina like Cozy by Beyonce. Kyle and John like Surprise by Chloe.
Love Chloe. I also love that we were both listening to Stella Quaresma for like years before she like blew up in Flow.
Right? Isn't that interesting? How did Always Be My Baby end up on here?
Is it me?
I mean, it's me and you, but like I don't remember listening to that recently.
I just love that Kyle always has Brooke Hogan on here. That's always the one that gets me. She's always on the playlist.
Brooke Hogan.
I love Brooke Hogan. Okay, Brooke Hogan. Her album, Undiscovered.
No one even
mentioned
mentioned
many bops. What?
No, you keep going. I have something to say after you.
Yeah, so Brooke Hogan's album Undiscovered had many, many bops. You know, many of her songs, if not the entire album, was executive produced by Scott Storch. Right? Scott Storch is not a nobody. Okay, he's also known for Lean Back by Fat Joe, Terry Quad. Yeah, Scott Storch is not nobody. He did a lot of work with Christina Aguilera as well on her Stripped album. Okay, Scott Storch. But Brooke Hogan also had a really fun turn on the challenge Champs for Stars. Like she was actually really in it to win it.
That's right.
Yeah, she really played hard.
That's where I really.
Yeah, she wasn't like one of those celebrities that was just there just to be there. Like she actually did like play the game.
I just knew it. She had like that one song that was out that I knew, and I don't remember it now.
Oh, About Us by Paul Wall.
I don't remember. She had that one.
They don't know nothing about. They don't know
nothing
about. They don't say nothing. Diddly. They don't know nothing about us.
That is the only song by her I
know. Yeah, Brooke Hogan. Yeah, come on. No, she's amazing. It's
very funny to me that Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie is on this playlist. Like I don't even know why it is,
I
but
love
I'm
that it is.
disappointed to see. And I love that it is too, but I'm disappointed to see that neither one of you share that song in common with me.
That is very disappointing.
Yeah, you really mucked up,
also
Gina.
I know what that. I know it. No, I do know what that is. I do know what that is.
If
from
we
the
listen
Goofy
to
movie.
each other's hearts.
Yes.
I love that the one song that all three of us have in common is Cuff It by Beyonce.
Of course,
That's really so fun.
Queen Bee.
That's amazing.
Oh, this playlist is so fun.
So the last time we had spoken about music,
Killer
we
Queen.
had kind of said something about how I wasn't really a big fan of Kim Petras. I don't know why she was showing up as representing me in the blend. I have to now report that I am a huge Kim Petras fan. I am on board. Love Kim Petras. So that's it.
Yeah, she was on there for me because I have her, like, she had that like spooky album that I put on my spooky playlist.
Mhm,
And then you were
mhm.
like, well, why do I have her here?
Right, yeah. No, I ended up really liking her. I also like that I have put Todrick Hall on our blend. So you're welcome.
I apologize for the fact that half of my contribution to the blend is either shows that I'm in for or shows that I'm working on. It's any musical theater bullshit is probably mine. I'm so sorry.
There's so much theater because of you, yeah.
It's because I listen to
Thanks
shows
a
that I'm going in for.
lot.
I'm sorry. Listen, to be fair,
No,
half
don't
of those
be
I have in
sorry.
common with you, all right?
No, I mean it's totally fine. It's totally
I
fine.
like that we have Killer Queen by Queen on here. It's great.
Yeah, I'm
song.
surprised by that.
I'm very pleased that Theo Katzman has made the playlist. I'm very pleased that Sammy Ray has made the playlist.
Oh wow, Gina, you and I have the last 5 years on here together.
Yeah, see, it's not just me.
No.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
I'm embarrassed that my Kim Petras contribution is treat me like a slut.
Can you say that one more time?
Treat me like a slut.
We're gonna have to capture that sound.
Oh my god.
I am a little ashamed of that, but I will say that I am proud to have also contributed My Funny Valentine by Justin Guarini. Okay. You're welcome for that. You should give it a listen.
Yeah.
Good rendition. You're welcome.
Yeah.
John, I also like that we have Made You Look by Meghan Trainor in common.
Oh hell yeah! Fucking love Meghan Trainor.
Meghan Trainor.
You guys have any snacks tonight?
No.
Eating any snacks?
Actually, don't have any snacks.
Wow. I'm the only one.
I don't have any snacks. I've been drinking these. This is Beatbox. I found out about this via the Lovers and Friends Instagram. I saw that Missy Elliott and other people were drinking these. So I said, well, then I should. Because, I'm a marketing whore. But I got to tell you, you will get zonked. This is 11.1% alcohol by volume. And yeah, she sure packs a wallop.
I am high. And I am eating these. They are Reese's dipped.
Yeah,
Reese's dipped pretzels.
Anything Reese's. Hell
Wow.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I would love one of those right now.
You can't have any of them. They're all for
That
me.
is so disappointing.
Speaking of snacks, I feel so bad. So, I'm staying at my mom's while I'm in between residences. And, I don't know. I have routines, depending on where I am. And whenever I stay with my mom, she always has apples. So I've been ending each day by eating one apple. Right. And last night I had the last apple. And she wasn't eating any apples all week. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna get ready to go podcast. I'm gonna go see my friends. And she goes, I'm like, what are you gonna do? And she goes, oh, I'm gonna go watch my show. She's so excited. She's been binge watching the show on Netflix. And then she goes, I think I'm gonna slice up some apples.
Oh no!
Some apples. And I went, oh my God. I said, Mommy, I'm sorry. We ain't got no apples. I said, I had the last apple last night. And I said, it was so good. And she said, oh. And she goes, well, okay. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I'm sorry. And it was like 9:03. And I was like, I could definitely run out. I'm like, I'm sure I could run out and get you some more apples like right before the pot. I'm sure I can be back by 9:30 to get you some apples. And she's like, no, it's not a big deal. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I feel so bad. And she's like, no, they were here to be eaten. And I was like, and they were. Oh. Yeah. It was terrible. It was really terrible. I really felt bad.
It is.
I really felt bad.
It's terrible. It is. It is terrible. It's just,
Yeah.
whew, that story was so funny.
It was terrible. I really felt bad. So that was actually the energy that I came into this with. I was like, damn, I ate all the apples. Fuck. Sorry. Damn.
So you came in here like, damn, I ate all the apples.
I ate all the apples. And I had to shake it off. We were gonna be live. You know?
But you did right. You did right. You got him back.
Hey. I didn't get them back. I didn't go. She said, don't go. I didn't get them
At
back.
least you offered. At least you offered.
I offered. She said no. And I said, okay.
See, that's the part I remembered, is that you offered.
I did offer, but I didn't actually get them. So all right, so that's that, right?
Yeah, let's
Yeah, we were gonna wrap this up like an hour ago.
Right.
let's get out of here.
This is the longest we've been. So, all right, what do we have coming up next Thursday? We have such a treat. Lewis and Michelle from The Amazing Race are coming. They're just coming to hang out. We don't have anything really to talk about. We're just going to catch up with them, see what's going on, and just have a good time. After that, I still didn't respond. So we're sorry to Slim. But we've been talking to our friend Slim. We want to have like a nice, fun Big Brother chat. I had a Big Brother 25. So hopefully we have that on the next Thursday. Unconfirmed. But we'll let you know. In the meantime, you can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks, Matt. Says more things.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really good night. We had a really, really good time. This is our first time using Streamlabs. So welcome to the party, Streamlabs. Very interesting that this is the first time we did not get our little timer beeping on the side. We're using their thing, and we had no timer, right? That's certainly noteworthy. And we also didn't get that stupid poll coming up every single time. I guess the next thing we'll be testing here is I had set up an outro. Remember, we didn't know how things are going to go.
Right.
And the intro did play, and the intro was the countdown I had selected. Now I did select a outro. And I'm wondering if we hit end stream, will it play it or not? I don't know if it's just going to
only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out. So we're going to find out.
Right. So we'll see.
And now it says, shout out to Streamlabs. Never too late to get your shit together. Right. This could be our new jam. We're testing things. Good things to do in the off season. But we're out of here. Let's see if we have an outro. All right. Good luck. I want to end your